Today was flooring day, so we went to Home Depot searching for the Traffic Master flooring. And it is one of the least expensive ones that they have, so it took a little while to find it. But we got it, and I got it in the Stone Pecan, which is a light gray, kind of a gray off-white coloring, which I really love. Okay, time to do the fourth update on what's happening with the studio. Right now, we've got a few plants in here, and that is because last night Amazon gave us a little weather warning that there might be a frost. So my son brought all of these in, which are the little seedlings for the watermelon, and those other ones, the sunflower seeds and stuff. And then I asked him to bring the hydrangeas in. And these actually all came from Fred Meyer. This is that first one that I purchased, and it's really struggling. I don't know what's going on. And then these are the second two, and these look really good. And these two were actually $5 less each. So I think I paid $14.99 for that one, and then $10.99 for these. But anyways, okay, enough with that. Let's get on with what's happening here in the studio. So we're ready for primer. We're all ready to start painting. So tomorrow we are going to be priming. Well, actually, I'm going to be at the DMV getting my, upgrading my driver's license to a real ID so I can get on a plane. But otherwise, yeah. This is all set. We did the final sanding of that second layer of the mud, and we went back through and just kind of touched it up. And then what we did with the cracks in the ceiling where the sheetrock meets and up on the corners at the peaks, we ended up using a I think he called it a 3/4 round trim. I actually had like 6 or 7 of these long white pieces, which are, I think, like a plastic type material, but we ended up using those on some of it, and then we ran down to our local hardware store and picked up these. They had it in wood, but that's fine. But what he did was nailed these into the corners and then put a little bit of the caulking or whatever you want to call it. And we left gaps down there because we did pick up the laminate flooring, and we wanted to leave enough space for the flooring to go in and then for the baseboards, which we're going to use this stuff for the baseboard. And I see that, I guess that stuff will probably come off. So anyhow, that is the update. It is warm outside, and I am happy to report that it is nice and cool inside here. It says it's 61 degrees, 41% humidity. So that is awesome. That's good news. That means it's not going to get too warm out here. Actually, because I was wanting to put a window air conditioner in here just in case. So we were going to probably put one here in this window. And then he's gonna run more wiring though, because we're going to need a stronger amp wiring or have a dedicated outdoor plug. So we're gonna put that on the outside. And what we will do is wire it for, so my pool filter can go there too. So that's what'll be happening there. But yeah, so it looks awesome. We'll end up putting that other electrical outlet probably here on the side somewhere. While we were at Home Depot, we decided to go ahead and pick up the supplies that we would need to build these raised garden beds, which I constantly call them above ground garden beds, but that's because I'm used to saying above ground pool.
So basically it is our raised garden beds, and what we decided to do after searching a little bit online was to just to go with using some cedar fence panels and a 2x4x8. So initially we grabbed some coffees and then headed home and decided that I needed to kind of pick up this area a little bit. The raised gardens, that was our option instead of rototilling up all of this dirt again. And I haven't had really good luck with vegetables growing very well in that soil. So we're going to try the above ground, the raised garden beds, and see how they do. As I mentioned in one of my last videos, my son and I got lucky and picked up a ton of free tools, and so today we decided we would try out the one saw. And he's used one before, but this one was just slightly different, and the gentleman just warned us and said, hey, this thing's pretty powerful, so be careful. But yeah, we got it figured out, and I'm basically there just to kind of help and do what I can while he does the work. So we're cutting these, it's a 2x4x8, and we are cutting them into 12-inch lengths, and they're going to be the supports for our little garden beds. And I'm going to start off also by saying, obviously, we're not professionals, so we are just winging it and making it up as we go. So that was kind of my thing. I always say that I'm like the good enough crew, and so that's it. It's a garden bed. It doesn't have to be exactly symmetrical, so we're just going to go with that and see how it works. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We've got a situation, though. We've got one board that's about 1 inch longer. See that one?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know how that happened, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have to cut. I'm going to pop in here real quick, too, and mention that situation that I talked about with the one board being shorter than the other, or one being longer. Turns out what it was there was one that was actually shorter than all the others. It was the fence panels that we picked up. And I said, oh, how did we do that? How did we miss that? And my son said, well, that's probably the one that you put on the cart. So that was probably true.
Pull this foot out more or something.
Oh, okay.
I have it on a mound of weeds right there.
Now this was my way of eyeballing things to put our little center support in the middle. We did work with these 6-foot fence panels, so we ended up with 2 garden beds. They're 6x3. So basically I was just measuring in the middle, 3 feet, and then eyeballing it and using that little support bracket. So my son played along, even though he probably, I'm sure, would have done a better job by himself. But it was getting hot at this time, and so I'm like, you know what, let's just put this thing together and see how it comes out. And honestly, I think they came out pretty darn good. We ran out of soil though, so the next day we had to go down and pick up some more bags of soil, and at that point I decided to go ahead and pick up some vegetables. So we are going to put bell peppers in. I got bell peppers, a squash, I got a couple little cherry tomatoes. Anyhow, it was a fun project, and I like doing things like this with my kids. And even though I say kids, my kids are all adults now, but you know, they will they'll help me out when it comes to these kind of projects. So we do have a lot of fun doing it also. My older son came out and joined us and was visiting and hanging out with us as well. Just for reference, we ended up using about 10 bags of topsoil. They were 2 cubic feet each, so actually quite a bit. Probably could have got away with using less had we put some mulch or something there in the bottom, or compost, but we didn't have any of that. Maybe next year. But there we go. Super happy with how it came out. And the plants look like they're pretty happy too. Hola, Cyrus. How are you, Pop-Pop? Oh goodness. Okay, we're going in soon. Hold on. Okay, so we've got plastic on the... Oh, that's right. I don't have to close this. I was coming out because I was going to close this up, but I don't have to because this is taped up. But anyhow, ta-da! No more, can't see the seams anymore. They're all covered. This is primer. It's all been primed. It looks good. It's bright and it's white. And I wanted white because it actually we get a lot of overcast days here. We're in the Pacific Northwest. We're in like twilight territory. And so yeah, if you've never been to Oregon or Washington, and if you've seen those Twilight movies and such, I mean, it's sunny today, but don't let it fool you. It's not like this all the time. But look at that view. I love my view. I love it. So anyhow, he's going to be back tomorrow, and we'll put the final coat on, or not the final coat, I'm sorry, but the actual paint. This is just the primer. And we realized that some of that, he used a sprayer, so obviously not all of that got painted, but whatever doesn't, can go back with the paint and see what happens tomorrow, see if it picks it up. And if it doesn't, then I'll go back with the brush, because we still need to get the 4x8s. I couldn't fit those in my car. I need to buy a 4x8 thing above plywood and have it cut in half so I can have some little loft storages up there. So we got to do that, and I've got to get the trim, which I'm going to ask and see if he can do that because he's got a truck, and to get the longer, I don't think, well, I could get 8-foot pieces in. I'm not sure how long those are, but anyhow, okay, well, let's hop back outside and we'll call it a night. Hello everyone, Carla here, and I'm just popping in real quick to finalize this video and show you the progress that was made today. As you can see, it was pretty toasty, and I think I'm actually almost kind of getting sunburnt from being out in the sun. That may have been from the gardening that we did. However, but anyways, I'm excited to show you this, and then next time you see it, it will probably be the flooring that we are going to be working on. So, all right, I hope you all have a great night, and we will see you next time. Bye.